the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl champions, the defending Super Bowl champions, who will be looking to defend their Super Bowl title this year, as every team in the league will be hunting Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and the rest of the Kansas City Chiefs. Right. That's right. Hunting. 14-3 last year, first in the AFC West, won the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs are on a historic run right now. And I have to admit this, even though I don't want to. They've won Super Bowls since Patrick Mahomes has been the starting quarterback for these Kansas City Chiefs. They've won 12 or more games every year for the last 5 seasons. Last 5 years since Mahomes has took over as a full-time starter. 12 plus wins every year. They've been to at least a conference championship or the Super Bowl. This is historic. But the question has now been, can Mahomes catch Tom Brady? And I say no. I mean, you still got another 15 more years of dominance to even have any chance at catching Tom Brady. And I don't think that's going to happen. In today's NFL, it's very hard to go on a 19-20 year run. I think we talked about it previously, where the Patriots had like and then Belichick had like where's my notes? They had like a 19-year run of a winning record, and most of that winning was also playoff success. And Tomlin's right there. I think Tomlin has the longest streak of active coaches with 15 straight years. That's even longer than Andy Reid, because I think Andy Reid's streak started in 2013 with a winning record 500 and better when he took over the Chiefs. That's when his streak started. He's been winning quarterback ever since. So it's not easy to do it, and what I want to say is that the Chiefs has the top offense last year, number one across the board, points and yards. They've been beating opponents on the average of 7 to 8 per game, right? Like, when you go up against Kansas City, you're already down a touchdown in any game that you play against them. You're basically playing down a touchdown, more than a touchdown in many cases. Last year, I think they averaged about 7.9 or 7 point something over a touchdown. So you're close to almost 2 scores down when you play against this team, which is scary, right? 2 scores, would it be a touchdown and a field goal in many cases, depending on how good your team is. But for the most part, you're down basically a touchdown when you go into play against Kansas City. And that's great. That's scary, because it's like, damn, how can you beat them? You know, it's amazing what the 3 teams that actually beat them, right, last year. But look, I'm gonna hate here a little bit. You know, I don't think the run's gonna last long. I think this is the year you start to see things start to slow down a bit. You have the emergence of the good quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, and the AFC is loaded, right? The AFC is the superior conference, which will make things very difficult for Kansas City in years to come. I think they take I still think they're going to be a good team. They're going to be one of the best teams in the league, but they're not going to win 14 games this year. I just don't see it, because I think the rest of the conference is so good that they're not going to, like, typical games that they would win last year, they're going to lose these games this year. Like if I told you the schedule last year, yeah, they would probably win 14, 15 games. But it's not going to work out that way. So we'll get to the schedule right now, and we'll go over it. And so I think they'll probably win about 12. Still not a bad year. They're going to have a good year. They'll win the division. They win 12, 13 games, but they're not gonna be like that 14, 15 game. And they may not even be they're not even gonna be the best team in football this year. That's gonna be the Cincinnati Bengals. They're gonna be the best team in the AFC. So, and I think the Bengals will give them. If they meet in the playoffs this year, Bengals and Chiefs, I think the Bengals are gonna take them down. That's what I believe. So we'll see. So let's get the schedule going for these defending Super Bowl champs. The defending Super Bowl champs. Week 1 at home hosting the Detroit Lions. Now, Detroit Lions are going to be an improved team, but they're not going to be that improved to where they come into Thursday night season opener. They're not going to go into Kansas City and beat them. At least I don't think so. I'm going to give the Kansas City Chiefs the win here. So, week 2, though, at Jacksonville, 1 o'clock game. I think the Chiefs fall here. This is going to be one of their few losses that they will have, and mostly losses will happen early on in the season. After the bye week, they're going to pretty much cruise. Week 3, home to the Chicago Bears. I think they will win that one. Week 4, they take on Aaron Rodgers at MetLife. Is it MetLife in New Jersey? I think it's called MetLife. They're going to lose to this is a Sunday night football game. 8 o'clock, prime time, big bright lights. Everybody's going to be watching. Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers pulls this one out. They're at New York or at New Jersey or whatever. I think this is a game that Aaron Rodgers is going to prove, hey, I'm not just here to take up space. I'm legit, and I still got it. So I think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will beat Mahomes. That's going to be a second loss. So they'll be 2-2 now. And people are going to say, uh-oh, right? We know they can come back from these deficits. I think, what was it, last year? They were like not last year, a couple years ago. Then they started like 1-4, 1-3 or something. Then they came all the way back in and played well. So I think that they're going to be 2-2. Not a bad start. Pretty good. Week 5 at Minnesota. They'll beat Minnesota at Minnesota. Now, this game could go either way. I gave Kansas City the edge here because I think the Chiefs, after losing to New York, they come back a week later. They get things. They figure it out. They beat Minnesota. Then they're going to beat Denver at home, and they're also going to beat the Chargers at home, which they'll be 3. So they'll have 3-game winning streak. They'll be 5-2 heading into week 8 against the Denver Donkeys at Denver. Division game, Russell Wilson. I give the Denver Donkeys the victory here, so Kansas City will fall. Week 9 at home against the Miami Dolphins. They will beat the Dolphins. That game's going to be on. That's not a home game. I keep messing these up. That's that 8:30 weird 8:30 game and on international soil. So that would be Kansas City will still win that regardless. So they'll go into the bye week 6-3, headed to the bye week. Pretty good spot to be in, as their second half schedule looks to be favorable for them to some degree. Week 11, they play the Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch, some sorts, you can call it that. ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN, the whole Monday night, they're going to be everywhere. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to beat the Eagles. They're going to beat them there. But honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Eagles beat them. But I believe that Mahomes and them will win. So that'll be another victory. Week 12 at Vegas to take on a division opponent, the Vegas Raiders. The Chiefs definitely could win this game, but I'm giving the victory to the Vegas Raiders in a tight one, as the Raiders will be in contention with trying to make the playoffs. So the Vegas Raiders will win that one. Week 13 at Green Bay. Packers, I don't think the Packers are going to be a good team this year. So Mahomes and them going up to Green Bay, beating the Packers, I think that's very possible, and I think that will happen. So December 3rd is going to be cold, of course, but Kansas City, they can handle the cold weather. They won't have no problem going up there. That's another Sunday night game. Mahomes versus Love. Mahomes comes out on top. Week 14 at home to the Buffalo Bills. Bills defense will take a hit this year, in my opinion. So Mahomes will, and the offense will easily dispatch the Buffalo Bills in short order. Week 15, they go to Foxborough, and I'm not happy about this one, but I had to, try to be a little realistic here. I think ESPN game, Monday Night Football, the Chiefs, I think it's going to be a good game. I think the game is going to be a lot more competitive than people may think, because the Patriots will be a good team at this point of the season, but I think they will lose this, and Kansas City will pull out the victory in Foxborough on the road as they start winding down the end of the season. Kansas City starts to, turn things up. Week 16 at home to the Las Vegas Raiders. They'll be hosting the Raiders, and they'll beat them on Christmas. Week 17, New Year's Eve, they're hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is a big game here against Cincinnati, because Bengals are in first place right now at this point. This is going to be one of Cincinnati's few losses on the year. The Chiefs will win this game, but it's going to be the Chiefs showing Cincinnati, hey, we can beat you guys. You're not ready to take us yet. It'll be a close game, but Cincinnati will not forget, as they will meet them in the playoffs. And the final game of the year at LA, taking on the Chargers. The LA Chargers, who are looking to make a push for something. I don't know what they'll be making a push for, but Justin Herbert at home will air it out against Patrick Mahomes to let him know that Herbert is coming. So that's it. Chiefs 12-5 on the year. They'll win the division. At least as of right now, as they'll have a better record than the Donkeys and Raiders. Will 12 wins be enough for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to win the AFC West for the 8th straight year? We'll find out, as our next preview will be the LA Chargers. So stay tuned for that here on Sports LA TV. And look, guys, Chiefs will win 12 games. Don't panic. I know Chiefs Kingdom is going to be upset. What do you mean 12 wins? We won 14 last year. We're going to go 16-2 or 1 or whatever. No. Doesn't work that way, guys. It's not going to work that way. So don't panic. Chiefs will still be a good team. They'll still have a top offense, but I think that they're going to face some resistance this year. And they're going to be tested. Remember, they're the defending Super Bowl champs. Everybody's coming for them. So when they have losses, like, these are not bad losses either. At Jacksonville, at the Jets against Aaron Rodgers, at Trevor Lawrence, who's ready and prime, ready to go. You got Calvin Ridley. The Denver one could go either way, right? Could they go to Denver and beat Denver? Yeah, Denver was a terrible team last year, but I'm giving Russell Wilson the early season benefit of the doubt here in Week 9. The game against Vegas, Jimmy Garoppolo, different Vegas team. Could they be up and ready to beat Kansas City at Vegas? Yeah, they could do that. So, and then the Chargers game against Herbert. So losing to Herbert, Garoppolo, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Trevor Lawrence, that's not a terrible thing this year. That's not terrible, right? And like I said, any of the losses could be wins. Like, they can go to New York and beat the Jets on Sunday night. That's very well can happen. They could definitely go to Jacksonville in Week 2 and beat the Jaguars. So that can go either way. They can go to Denver and win that one. They can definitely go to Vegas and win, and they can go to LA and win. Those are 50-50 games in my opinion. But I'm giving the wins to the other team. And these are all road games, right? These are all road games. So we'll see.